Hi, this is Mark News from Plant Talk Radio. Thanks for subscribing and listening to our podcast, Your Gardening Questions from Plant Talk Radio. If you have a gardening question you'd like our host Fred Howard to answer, send him an email. The email address is fred@planttalkradio.com. Now for today's question. And we have a question here, email question. Remember, you could always email Fred. It's fred@planttalkradio.com, or just go to our website and click on the Ask Fred button. And this came from Mike, and this is not about head cheese or anything else like that. He says, how do I get rid of poison ivy that's growing in the ground ivy?
Wow.
Not easily, right?
No, not easily. That's why the hesitation there. There is enough difference in the appearance that it can be observed. Unfortunately, when birds eat the berries of poison ivy and fly over a ground cover of English ivy, some of them germinate and you get into that kind of thing. I've got a few little, or have had a few little seedlings this year myself, but not in the ground cover. Now, as to that question, if the ground cover has expended its use visually and physically, then you kill the whole thing and just start over. However, I doubt that that's what they want to do, and therefore, there are only two ways I know of doing it. Number one, dress properly. Even to the point of tying twine around your long pants at the ankle, wear gloves, big kitchen-type gloves that'll come up your arm. Be very, very careful after you have worked on this in the way I'm recommending, because poison ivy oils can permeate the clothing you're wearing, and you have to be very, very careful that you don't even touch that to your skin until it's been once or twice through the washing machine. Now, I've done it two ways, and the one that I think is the most thorough is to find the vine, if it's more than just a little seedling. Find the vine, go out to the growing end, and try carefully to pull it up out of the regular ivy back to where it goes into the ground. At that point, you use a little pallet stick or old pencils or whatever to put in the ground right beside the stub of what you're going to cut off. Very carefully then bag up the living ends. And then in about 2 weeks, the plant will have sent up or be in the process of sending up new little stems and leaves. They will be extremely succulent and therefore will pick up the weed killer somewhat rapidly, translocate it to the root, and then kill. Now, an older vine, stem size your little finger and bigger, is going to continue to need that care, so don't pull the pencil. Do figure on at least 3 sprayings. It depends, but I would use Roundup. I would be very careful to have it in a can or canister, paintbrush, or something of that nature where you can, let's just say an open coffee can, you can dip it in, dip it down on the new leaves so that you don't touch any more than absolutely necessary of the regular ivy, and just keep doing that, probably every 3rd week. The other would be to try to paint the leaves of the running stems. That leaves, however, if it does work, it leaves one element, and that is that poison ivy roots, shoots, stems, leaves, berries are all toxic to those who are allergic. So when you leave dead tissue down in there, you can, let's just say, mix with it again. And some of it can be old, more than 1 year old. One of our Boy Scouts one time was so pleased, he brought in a bunch of kindling that he had broken, stomped, and cut off of trees and off the ground. And he got up a sweat, took his sweatshirt off, carried it in his bare arms, and oh my, about 5 weeks of pure trauma for him. But anyhow, that's just a matter of letting you know that it can get you dead or alive. And those are the two things that I would try to do. And persistence is going to be the situation. And I would even let the the pencils or whatever you put in, I'd let those stand, maybe cut off lower, down in the ground cover so that you can find them and watch for next year's. Then, then knowing that that has happened, there are probably other seeds that haven't germinated. Do walk the area once a month, once every 6 weeks. Find the little seedlings. On the little seedlings, it's a bit of a different story. After rain like yesterday or some watering, whichever, they'll pull very easily. I put my hand in a plastic bag. I pull the weed with the plastic bag over my hand. Then once I've got the weed in hand, I peel the plastic bag back over the living part of the plant, Ziploc or not, into the trash it goes and out. Off the property. Do not, under any circumstances, let the stuff dry down and burn it. It will get people who are allergic. It'll get them in the smoke too. So be very careful with that, Mike. And I hope you can persist through getting rid of it.
Hey, thanks again for listening to our podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our other podcasts as well, the Plant of the Week podcast and the Plant Talk Radio podcast, all on iTunes or your favorite podcast player. If you'd like to sponsor a daily podcast, contact us at fred@planttalkradio.com. To find out more about Fred Hauer and Plant Talk Radio, visit our website, planttalkradio.com.
Circle270media.com